So it's a Luke Littler story, and it's a black female darts player thrown into Great news for straight white male actors. The BBC are casting for a drama about the grooming gangs. And there's one scene where one of these elite guys kills one of these deplorables, and as he's dying he says, and by the way, climate change does exist, and it's like, I saw a joke which I thought was hilarious, and it said, great news for straight white male actors. The BBC are casting for a drama about the grooming gangs. I thought that was hilarious, absolutely hilarious. Every other program's
and I've seen one opposite of that. It's a picture of a female black dart player, and it says Netflix are doing a biography on whatever he was.
Luke Littler. Yeah. So it's a Luke Littler story, and it's a black female darts player thrown into There are two movies I'd like to recommend to our viewers. Right. One is The Hunt, which is a relatively old film, but it's fascinating. I've watched it before. I watched it again and didn't realise what it was, because it's actually a barb at the elites, basically. And it's a story about a group of elites who hunt down what they call deplorables, basically.
Right.
But I would recommend it. It's obviously ahead of its time, but now we look at it, it's relevant. And basically it's parodying the way the elites in America see the deplorables, the red collar, all that stuff. And there's one scene where one of these elite guys kills one of these deplorables, and as he's dying he says, and by the way, climate change does exist, and it's like, it's a really clever parody.
Anybody in it that we know?
And the main lady you wouldn't know her, but I can't remember her name.
Okay, I'll check that out.
There's also another programme that's been remade with James, the guy who was in the X-Files, can't remember his name now, he's an Irish actor, I think, or a Liverpudlian actor, and it's called Speak No Evil.
Right.
I recommend that. I want to be careful though, because I don't want to give away the plot.
Right.
But I think it is a metaphor, or what's the word I'm looking for, when a narrative echoes real life.
Yeah.
It's a metaphor for what is happening in the West as a result of the immigration and specifically of the Muslim population. And I would recommend you watch the Danish version, and you'll understand, if you can, called Speak No Evil. And then, I don't watch the BBC, but I was flicking through something and I saw, I used to watch a program called Silent Witness.
Yes.
Are you aware of that?
My wife has been watching it the last few days.
Yeah. So I used to watch it, and then it just became unbearably woke. And they had a character in it who was in a wheelchair doing all this business. Do you remember her?
I never watched it. I just know my wife.
All right. They had a wheelchair. Of course, they had their top forensic scientist was some disabled person in a wheelchair, because of course DEI or whatever. Yeah. And I actually met her in Cuba. Right. I was in Cuba. In a hotel, and she was in the same hotel I was in.
Right.
In what's the capital of Cuba called?
Havana.
So I was flicking through it, and I knew she'd gone, and I thought, oh well, they've obviously will have replaced her now. But what they've replaced her with is, I don't know how to say this, what do you call a very small person?
Midget? Dwarf?
Yes. Yeah. So she's gone, but they can't just replace her with just a normal person. No. She has to be replaced with a midget.
Yeah.
What's that all about? I mean, I'm sure if your wife's been watching it, she'll be aware of that.
I walked in out of the room and I've seen the midget on the TV, but she only watches these things when I'm busy doing other stuff. But I have actually seen her, because she loves Silent Witness, and she's excited there's new episodes coming.
Do they not realise what a joke in a parody of themselves they have become, the BBC, by doing this all the time? It's just like, oh, the person in the wheelchair's gone, what can we replace them with? I know, let's get a midget. It's kind of, that's the thought process, isn't it?
Yeah. This is, again, this is that woke ideology again, that, we have to reflect the diversity of the country, and we have disabled people in this country, and we do. But I'll tell you what, how many midgets are working for police forces across the country?
I don't know. I haven't got those stats.
I would imagine it's zero.
No, I'm sure there must be one.
No, I would imagine. I'd imagine it's zero. I'd imagine it's zero. We had the BBC.
If we can have any of our viewers could actually give us that information, that would be useful to know.
The BBC, I think it was the BBC, made a TV series a couple of years ago about, I think it was about our nuclear subs, and I think we got 4 nuclear subs, and the captains of the subs were I think it was one black man and three women. And it's like, well, I'll put money on that the captains of the 4 subs we have in the UK are all captained by white men.
Yeah, but do you think they are? I mean, we saw that incident in New Zealand, didn't we? Where that ended up just having a woman lesbian.
Yeah, but I would imagine, I still would imagine those 4 nuclear subs are captained by 4 white men. But in the BBC show, there was no white men.
Yeah.
It was women and black people.
Yeah.
Because it always is about diversity. And to a certain extent, these are entertainment. So they can do what they want in entertainment. They're not documentaries. But to make a good TV series, it has to be based around fact. Otherwise, it's science fiction. Otherwise, you might as well have a talking dog as a captain of one of the submarines, because then it becomes science fiction. So, but the BBC have been doing this for a long time. I've been watching a series at the moment called The Sinner.
Oh, that is quite good. I don't think that's got any DEI in it.
Oh, it's full of it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
so it depends when you watch it, if your eyes are open or not. Because the first series thoroughly enjoyed. The second series, the woman's brother is a gay black man. Oh, I don't know what that fits in with
the woman's mother.
No, the brother, the one of the main women's, her brother's a gay black man.
Is she black?
She's like mixed race. And it's like, that like...
Yeah, you're immediately on your guard.
on the guard.
Yes.
And then her husband is saying about how when he was in college, he had a bit of a fling with this guy. And she's going, I find that sexy.
What?
Women do not find homosexual men sexy. Straight men find lesbians kissing sexy, but it doesn't work the other way.
I don't know what you mean, Nick.
It doesn't work the other way around. And that's when I went, this is getting on my tits a bit now. The next series, third series was, everybody seemed to be gay. In
The Sinner?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I must not have noticed it. Perhaps I watched it pre-conversion.
Yeah, I've just started watching the 4th series now.
Yeah.
But the storylines are good.
Yeah.
The twists
That's
and
the shame of it,
and stuff
isn't it?
like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, the acting's really good. But they just keep throwing these things.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, one of the pleasures of watching the Danish version of Speak No Evil, there were no black people in it at all.
Right.
There were no lesbians and no gay men either, because the story wasn't about that at all. So it was all basically white Danish people. And that was another pleasure, another reason I watched it. I think I told you I watch a lot of Korean things now. Oh, that reminds me, actually. I forgot to tell. Did I tell you that? Then you
did last time,
yeah. So yeah, that's another reason. But yeah, I was shocked to see the midget in the Silent Witness.